Got traffic there. Blaster, just take it up to the departure end of the runway, then a left turn and a lowest downwind. Cessna over the threshold, coming up on the white dot, at or beyond the white dot, left turn first available. I got a high wind coming up on about a half-mile final, clear to land at or beyond. Traffic on the left base, you're following a Cessna down, low off your left. Square it up just a little bit, and then we're going to get you in. Start your descent, though. Start your descent on the base. Traffic on final, give me follow on base. Base traffic, start turning toward the numbers now. High wing coming up on quarter-mile final, take it all the way down to the green. Cessna taxiing on the green, expedite down to the next hard surface. Get me some speed, there you go, 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 go fast. This is going to be good. I got traffic on a mile final. You're following traffic ahead and to your right. High wing coming up on the threshold. Take it all the way down to the green dot.
5 Charlie Sierra, 2 mile final.
A mile final, turn north, and we're going to just make you, we're going to bring you back around. Jet traffic's coming up on about a mile and a half final. Runway 9er clear to land.
Okay, all right, let's listen up, guys. If you're on final for runway 9, I want you to offset to the left. I got a jet that's landing on runway 9. The jet's cleared to land runway 9 if you can make it. If not, just continue straight ahead. It looks like you're going around for the jet. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine.
Oh, we had one right in front of us, sir.
Dragger. Let's see. Well, we got a tricycle. Tricycle, put it down. Tricycle, put it down. Tricycle, put it down. Tail dragger, down to the green dot, then a left turn. Short final here. You cleared land on 9 all the way to the white dot. Go down to the white dot. Find somebody to follow out here. Canard, just come to the runway, and I might have to just send you around. That'll be fine. And for the jet, you just want to stay in this pattern, or you want to go back out for an instrument approach?
Stay in a pattern, Charlie Sierra.
All right, just stay with me here for a minute. And my tail dragger, and let's see, over the numbers, go down to the green. And Canard's going to have to go around. Canard, go around. Canard, go around. Canard, go around. And my high wing here over the runway, keep it airborne. Keep it airborne. You do not descend. Do not descend. You got a fast guy behind you. Do not descend. There you go. Keep it airborne. Keep it airborne. As soon as the guy behind you gets slowed down, I'm going to put you down. So keep it airborne. The one that just passed the white dot, make a left turn on the hard surface. All right, my high wing tail dragger, you can put it down now. You can put it down now. And Charlie Sierra, let me get you about a mile off. Let's see, Charlie Sierra, I lost. There you are. Make a left-hand turn. I'll try to resequence you here on the downwinds. We'll see how it looks. Short final, you're clear to land runway 9 on the white dot. Clear to land on the white dot. There you go. And the tricycle left on the hard surface and follow the flagman. Welcome. Thanks for being part of the show. And let's see, just find somebody to follow out follow on the final, and as you get close to the runway, if it's not going to work, we're going to send you around and then try to re-sequence you. Now, who else got sent around that's not back on the downwind? The Canard?
Yeah, Canard.
All right, Canard, there's a Gulfstream up there that went around too. I just lost sight of him, but you're going to make kind of a left-hand turn and stay low. I think Charlie Sierra, what's your altitude?
3,200.
Okay, that'll be fine. Just maintain VFR. I don't know what else is up there above you. Probably most everybody's down here, so just make a left-hand turn. We'll try to get you back here.
Canard's got the jet in tight.
Okay, the RB, maybe an RB-10, whatever's here on final. Keep your speed up and go all the way down to the, aim for the green dot for me. Actually, keep your speed up. There's a guy behind you. Aim for the green dot, and I'm sure that's plenty of room for you to land on runway 9. You're clear to land on runway 9. Number 2, you're going to go down to the white dot. Follow the white dot. Actually, you know what? That's 1,500 feet. You're going to land at the white dot. The spacing looks adequate here. 2 guys on final. You're kind of tight there. Keep each other in sight, and you're going to aim for the white dot. If it's not going to work, we'll come up with a plan B. We might have to send you around. The second guy behind you out there in about a 2-mile final. Are you slow enough to be able to follow that guy in front of you? You need to go around. Well, I probably shouldn't ask that because I had about 5 guys answer me, so I should know better than that after 35 years, you would think, right? All right, so let me see. The guy who's number 1, it's number 1. What kind of airplane is he? An RV type. All right, RV type. Keep it airborne for me. Keep it airborne. And I got a fast guy behind you. The number 2 guy over the trees there. Go ahead and put it down on the numbers. Put it down on the numbers. My first guy just coming up on the numbers at the over the grass at the numbers. I want you to keep it.
T-minus 1 minute and counting.
Hello.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Thursday's live stream. It's bloody gorgeous out there, and I have to say, we've got a cracking show for you tonight. As you know, it's Popham this weekend. We'll be getting to that in a bit. There's loads and loads of news. We've got good news, we've got bad news, we've got mad news. And we'll also be talking to Mike Pearson. No connection between the mad and the Mike Pearson, I should make clear there. So you can see Mike's in the green room, wondering whether I was. There wasn't at all, but that's good. What else is going on? As you can see, Ed's not with us tonight. His Super Cup project looks like it's gone into labour and is expected to be reborn real soon now. So Ed's getting involved with his rubber gloves, no doubt, and maybe the Wellingtons as we speak. So who knows? Anyway, don't forget, if you like our content, and even if you don't like our content, frankly, do us a favour, click like, click subscribe, and click the bell and all that stuff. And comment if you're watching this. And don't forget, let other people know. Right. It's customary now to say a huge thank you to SkyDemon. Thank you very much, SkyDemon, for supporting this. And here is this week's SkyDemon tip for you.
Hi, I'm Rob from SkyDemon, and here's another top tip.
While a route is planned on screen, the virtual radar will appear. This is the area focused on the profile view of your flight, showing obstructions, airspace, and terrain along your route. Any legs that are planned below your MSA will be coloured in red. It's possible to rubber band vertically here just as you can with the lateral map. The altitude scale is shown here on the left, and if you like, you can drag a finger up and down to change the size of the virtual radar. Terrain is shown in two greens. The bold green in the foreground being the height of terrain directly under your planned track, with the faded green in the background being the highest terrain in a corridor either side. The width of this corridor is set in the planning options, and it's what defines your MSA. Sometimes you might wish to see a particular point from your route in the virtual radar on the main map. Double tap the route line in the virtual radar to be shown that point laterally. It works in reverse too. Tapping the route in the main map to highlight that point in the virtual radar. Just like in the main map, you can press and hold anywhere in the virtual radar to bring up the What's Here menu for that point.
For more information, check out our website www.skydemon.aero.
There you
That's
go.
one of those features which has taken somebody a huge amount of work to put together, isn't it? Imagine all that data to code and put in whatever
just
it is.
to rubber band vertically.
That probably took Tim about half an hour.
And a couple of Red Bulls.
You can tell how much you know about programming, which is next to nothing. Right. Okay. There you go.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If unlike me, you like this hot and sticky and sunny weather, enjoy it, because there's a reason that Simon's not here tonight, and that's because that weather is not going to last.
Would you like Simon's weather?
Yes, please, because you pressed the button, the right one.
Hi everyone, hope you're doing well this evening. Sorry I can't be with you again this week. I'm going to try and be with you next week. Hope you've had a good week. What glorious flying weather we've had, haven't we? A few thunderstorms this evening breaking out across Wales and across the Midlands as well. We're gradually seeing a semi-deterioration in conditions going into this weekend. But you know what? Actually, it's not that bad at all, and we're still going to get quite a bit of flyable weather around. For tomorrow, remnants of a couple of fronts lying east to west through the country, bringing some cloud, I think, through these sort of central southern areas. Notice on the cloud ceilings here, so these are the cloud heights above ground level. Just notice that, if I go back, just notice that we've got some clouds sort of sitting through parts of Wales. Let me try this again. It's going awfully well, isn't it? Yep, through parts of Wales, through the Midlands, into East Anglia, over high ground. But generally, actually, it's looking like being a fair afternoon. Just the far northwest of Scotland may well see more cloud and bases perhaps of around 2,000 or 3,000 feet. But overall, for most of us, it's fair, and we've got bases of around 4,000 or 5,000 feet. Now, on to Saturday. Again, those fronts kind of just hanging around across the south of the country. That could bring a bit of a problem through the English Channel during Saturday. Let me my drawing tool there. There we go. During Saturday, quite misty, quite murky, particularly along the coast of France. So just be aware of that if you're thinking about doing something cross-channel. Maybe a little bit of cloud as well, eastern parts of Scotland and across eastern England. But generally, for most, it looks as if it is going to be a fair day. Well broken cloud, bases around 4,000 feet, tops about 8,000 feet. And for Popham, for the Microlight Fair, it looks pretty good there as well. I think dry, bases probably around 4,000, tops at 7,000. And I think we're just going to be finding light northerly winds, probably no more than about 7 or 8 knots. And then on to Sunday. High pressure is to the west of Scotland on Sunday. Again, we've got this northeasterly flow. That bringing some cloud to eastern Scotland, to eastern coast of England. I think down here we could find going into marginal conditions at times. You see it here on the cloud ceiling forecast. Those ceilings of around 2,000-3,000 feet. Tops at around 8,000 to 9,000 feet. The chance of shower. Further west, I think fair conditions. It looks like bases 3,000-4,000 feet. Tops at about 8,000 feet. And decent conditions, like I say. Maybe a little bit of cloud perhaps running through parts of the Midlands into southern England in the morning, but that then burning back towards the east. And that cloud could affect Popham first thing, but I think then it will gradually break. The bases will lift, and we generally around that 4,000 foot level again at Popham through the late part of sunny morning into Sunday afternoon. Perhaps more of a northeasterly breeze there, though. You see the isobars quite close together, so that hinting that I'm just trigger happy this evening, aren't I? That's hinting that it is going to be quite breezy with that northeasterly. May well be a 15 to 18 knot northeasterly. Again, just check out the forecast, but generally it looks pretty good. Okay, I am still taking requests for Aviation Weather School Part 1 to be told when I announce my next date. It's got so much on at the moment, and all the courses we've announced are full. So I will be announcing more course dates very soon. If you want to do that, go to and go on the list to be told. Just go to weatherschool.co.uk and use the contact us form, and just let me know that you want to be added to be told when we've got the next course dates. But if you can't wait, go and do my Pilot's Guide to Skew course. Honestly, you'll love it. It will enhance your flying no end. Okay, I will leave you with that for now. Have a safe flying weekend if you're going to Popham. Enjoy yourselves, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.
Thank you, Simon. Looks glorious to me. I'll take it.
Good.
Excellent. Right, we've had loads of Popham beforehand. We've got loads of Popham coming up later, so I suggest we go straight into the news with young Johnny.
Yeah, so we all know about what happened at Old Sarum a few weeks ago, and Wiltshire Police are reissuing their appeal for witnesses following the fire, which broke out at 6 p.m. On Hangar 3, which also then damaged the adjoining cafe, as well as a building being used by another business which was damaged. The police investigation is still going on, and the cause of the fire is yet to be determined, but they want to speak to anyone who was in the area shortly before the fire started, and to people who might have recorded any video from just outside the site. So you can head to their website, or if you want to write it down, you can email any footage to 70382@wiltshire.police.uk. So if you did happen to see anything, then head over.
I think that kind of reminder, that re-appeal came out, I think, yesterday. So quite a while after. So interesting that they're making that re-appeal. But maybe they do that all the time. I don't know. I don't know much about police investigations of arson. Quickly, that's good. Go on that. Right. So next story is one of mine, and this is about the launch of something called Garmin Pilot Web. You will know that there are other EFB kind of bits of software, and one of which is Garmin Pilot. It's available on the iPad, but as of I think as of yesterday or as of today, I can't remember. You can now also get it on your laptop or on your screen on your desktop. So interestingly enough, I'll come back to this in a second. If you know SkyVector, which has like kind of maps of the whole US and in fact the rest of the world, then Garmin Pilot's web is a little bit like that. And there's a whole load of features, many of which have yet to make it to Europe, but are available in the US one. But I just want to try something here, see if this will work. A bit of a live screen share with the overlay of the weather. There you go. Look at that. You can see the weather live, and let's have a look and just see. So there you go. So that's all those storms that Simon was talking about. If you were to go to Garmin, whatever it's called now, and that's basically pilotweb.garmin.com. I think there are some basic features that anybody can access, but after that, you need to be a subscriber to Garmin Pilot. So there you go. I tried it. It worked. What can I say? Have confidence, people. Have confidence. Right. Who's up next?
I think it's me.
And if someone could pop that link into the comments, that would be great.
Yeah,
Johnny,
so next up,
forgot to rearrange these, so they're going to be a little bit lumpy. I apologise for that, but there you go.
Right.
Johnny.
Right. So news that we didn't really see coming is that UK-based Trig Avionics have become part of the Dynon dynasty, following a strategic investment by Dynon Avionics. So Trig, if you obviously don't know, they're well known for compact transponders and radios, and were founded over 20 years ago now. Used across the GA fleet from light aircraft to helicopters and gliders. And they also have supplied Dynon for a long time with transceivers and transponders, which integrate into Dynon Skyview and other advanced panels. So yeah, that's clearly going to mean more investment into Trig and also more collaboration between the two sets of avionics, which can't see any harm there personally.
I reckon that would mean, because at the moment Garmin do a whole Freudian slip there. Dynon do a whole load of certified avionics, which is kind of certified in retrofit and a whole load of stuff in the US, but they've never really got that STC validated in Europe or the UK. Now with Trig on board, I suspect that's going to be high on their list. They're like, let's just get this done now. And then so we'll have an option to do that. And the reason for the cheese was kind of, I reckon that these people, I don't reckon that's a real photo. I reckon Dynon and Trig put their heads together and did a ChatGPT prompt. So ChatGPT, make a photorealistic cheesy grin of some senior looking people, please. And that was what they came up with.
They do have the same outfit on.
Well, that's kind of like American corporate uniform these days, isn't it? A pair of chinos and a shirt looking
beige and blue.
Unless you're Zelensky didn't get the memo, did he, a while ago? He should have put his chinos on. He'd have been all right. But anyway, sponsorship time. Free money.
Yeah. So they could have chosen an easier name. The Worshipful Company of Coachmakers Sir Geoffrey de Havilland Scholarship is open for applications. It is for a young person, by which they say 18 to 35, and offers £7,000 worth of training towards a PPL using the Tiger Moths of the Cambridge Flying Group. What I really like about this particular scholarship is it specifically aims to encourage and preserve the operation of classic aircraft. So it's not like a lot of other scholarships which are to try and encourage people to go towards commercial training. Applications for this open today, and they close at midnight on the 30th of June.
Wow. So do you think, the Cambridge flying people, when Cambridge closes, are they going to, I think Marshals are moving to Cranfield, aren't they? So do you think, I wonder if the Tiger Moths will move to Cranfield as well?
Well, they're operating them from Old Warden at the moment, I think.
Yes, they are.
I knew there was something in there. See, Johnny and Annabelle far smarter than I am. Well
and if you're given the option of Cranfield, Old Warden, what are you going to pick?
Old Warden. Every single time.
I think Nick Allen's been a bit rude, though. I mean, clearly I'm young enough. And Dave.
Of course. I've just put a link into the comments about showing all our scholarships. There's quite a lot available now. And so here it is. I just pop it on there. There's that just that link. That's all. So if you've got anybody who wants a scholarship for a PPL or any other type of flying, then that's the one to go to. You find all of them there.
Absolutely. Lots of free money on hand. Go get it. It's there for the taking. I was going to answer your question about what should I prefer, Cranfield or Old Sarum? Not Old Sarum, Old Warden, with a different question. But I decided that for legal reasons, it would be better to keep quiet. Well, there you go. Right, my story next. Sorry about this. I should have reorganised the story. This is a bit of a sad and a worrying story, to be honest. This relates to this and no time for Ostend Bruges, but it's basically to get straight to the point. All flights with aircraft using Avgas 100 LL not allowed. Created 29th of April, and it's permanent. That is not a good thing, and that's the second airfield in Belgium to kind of have a similar kind of restriction. The other one being Charleroi. If you look at, it's. I was going to say it's not quite as bad as it sounds. It is as bad as it sounds. Although there is a kind of way that you can try and get PPR. You need PPR for everything at Ostend anyway, but you can try and get PPR. I don't know how likely it is that you'll get PPR if you fly in using 100 LL. It's a decision that's been taken for what they're calling environmental reasons. Basically, they don't like the idea of lead, even though they're still shown in the AIP as being as selling 100 LL in pumps. Not quite sure who's going to use it, because the minute you stick some in your aeroplane, that's it. You're grounded. You can't use the airfield. So who knows what happens there? But yeah, let's say I'm not sure that 2 is enough to make a pattern, but it's certainly the beginning of something in Belgium. Let's hope it stays there and doesn't move any further. It's certainly not a welcome change, shall we say. Dave, because I didn't reorganise it, you've got a whole run of stories now to fill your boots with.
I know, it's going to be a bit of a memory feat, isn't it? So Diamond Aircraft has launched a global flying club, and it's got its own online platform. Weirdly, they are saying that the club is not only open to Diamond aircraft owners, but also to anybody, basically, aspiring aviators, general aviation fans, absolutely anybody. With Diamond Flying Club, we're committed to bringing you extraordinary experiences that soar beyond expectations, said Bin Chen, who is the chairman of Diamond Group. Together, we will unlock the horizons of possibility. That does verge on the...
Chat GPT.
Bollocks, isn't it? That's what it is. It's corporate bollocks. But anyway.
Corporate,
yes.
Having Chat GPT, Batman.
Yep. The club's launch comes ahead of Diamond's 2025 flying, which is going to be scheduled for September or October. They haven't quite made their mind up yet. And the flying will offer Diamond aircraft owners a chance to network, share flying experiences, and tour the company's facilities. So that means it's going to be in Austria, I guess. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not in a bad place. I like the airfield Wiener Neustadt where Diamond is. It's a very nice little airfield. They've got a nice little restaurant, at least they used to have.
Yeah.
Nice little museum, which is good as well. I guess this is just. I mean, as a flying club, it doesn't actually have any airplanes. You can't go and rent anything or fly anything. It's basically just a place for the Diamond tribe, isn't it? To gather and convince everyone else that diamonds are the best. Diamonds are forever and stuff.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Well, Cirrus achieved something similar, haven't they, in the States? So they probably.
Who's that? Sorry.
Cirrus have achieved something similar in the States.
They have, but that's kind of independent of Cirrus.
Yeah.
Completely the Cirrus Owners and Pilots Association.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess there must have been a Diamond one somewhere as well. But no. Anyway, Dave, it must be you up next.
Yes, it is. And I've got the second story, which is about a new product, a new aircraft of sorts. It's called the Volonaut Air Bike. And do you remember the Jetson Aero? This is created by the same guy, an absolute nutter called absolute genius called Thomas Patan, who's created this. It's similar to the Jetson Aero, except you sit on top of it, and it's powered by some form of jet propulsion. There aren't many details yet, so we don't know what type of jet propulsion that is, whether it's an electric motor or with a ducted fan, or whether it's a genuine jet. But you fly it like a motorbike. It's got quite sophisticated controls because clearly it looks like it could be a handful to fly. So Thomas says that he's developed this computer control stability system. That sounds outlandish, but in fact, most big helicopters got something similar, augmented stability system. So it's definitely possible. And there's a launch video out showing him flying it through the forests. He's based in Tuscany, in Italy. Hard life, man. And he's flying it around the forest there. It does look absolutely brilliant fun, I think. Probably takes a while to learn. And I'm not quite sure what happens, but I do know what happens if you run out of power, run out of endurance is not very long. So
you go down straight away. If you look underneath it, you can see a bit of a heat haze in the tree. So I reckon it's some kind of combustion going on in there somewhere. Yeah, I reckon he could well have had too many mushrooms in those forests. But when you look at the video, he's actually going along quite tentatively,
Yeah, there's a bit when he pauses to wave, and you can see him sort of going, "I'm okay, I'm okay, I can wave."
Did you notice in that bit of the video where he pauses to wave, he does switch something with the left handlebar. So I reckon that's a hover augmented stability system, so it can switch into hover.
Anyway, release this story on Sunday.
Yeah.
Star Wars Day.
So you can do the flight test, Dave.
I'd be very happy to do the flight.
Over to you, Dave.
Right. So the next story, weirdly this week came out of pretty much nowhere. Bosch has revealed a hydrogen retrofit for a Rotax 916. Basically, this is going to be burning hydrogen, and Bosch says it. Naturally, they say it could significantly reduce the carbon footprint of general aviation. So it's basically a standard Rotax 916. They've used components already in volume production by Bosch. I'm not quite sure what for. They don't explain that. To power this by burning hydrogen, delivers pretty much the same power as the standard Rotax 916. And at the moment, it's not going to be a production unit for sale. It's to demonstrate what they could do, because they want to raise the profile of their Bosch Aviation Technology subsidiary. Yeah. I was going to say, there is a bit of an argument against hydrogen in aviation.
There is. And Adrian Norris of this parish wrote a pretty good and persuasive article on LinkedIn the other day. So go take a look at that. If someone could grab a link from that and post that in the comments, that would be great. It's quite a long article, but it's pretty emphatic. Hydrogen is not the future for aviation, it says. No. I don't know if you got your hydrogen fueled 916HS, I think it's called. Whether you could pop up at Popham after hours and expect to get in the future. This is a refill of give me some liquid hydrogen, please, or whatever it is that you put in. I don't know. I'm going not personally. Okay, just a little reminder from me. I did have a picture for this, but I forgot to upload it, so you'll just have to imagine it. It's a kind of a grass strip, and it's got a couple of muddy patches in it. This is the news that Wadswick, a place where I'm based, and the Flyer has a little studio where we do SkyStream on a Wednesdays, is currently closed to visitors. It's closed to visitors because it's had some groundwork done, and the groundwork accounts for the bare patches, which have been rolled and seeded and everything else. But obviously, with all this rain we haven't had, the grass is not yet growing fully. And so Tim, the owner, wants to keep the use of the runway down to a minimum. It's okay for us privileged residents there, but it's closed to visitors for a while until the grass has grown a bit. So just beware, because occasionally there are a few people who appear to pop in and land somehow, which is kind of interesting. It does say very clearly on the website that it's closed at the moment. So there you go. Annabelle.
Oh, so enjoying listening to you and Dave.
Right?
I was really enjoying listening to you and Dave there. So this is the news that earlier this week, Mike Owen finally and very sadly hung up his headset and retired from Air Ability as an instructor. Since 2008, Mike has been a huge part of the charity, and he's probably helped thousands of people experience flight. To mark the occasion, Airability teamed up with the airport and gave him a send-off to remember. And this still is actually just from a lovely video that Airability released on social media. It's well worth going and digging that out. It's really nice. So yeah, I think he's going to be very sadly missed.
I've met Mike a couple of times, and he is one of those just amazing people. A brilliant, brilliant instructor, and super student focused. I know all instructors are super student focused, but Mike is very, very super student focused, and he has brought the joy of flight to, as you say, many thousands of people over the years, and he's done it brilliantly. So yeah, well done, Mike.
All round human as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Final news story is that on the Fly YouTube channel, we've just uploaded a new video which goes into the changes that are coming to pilot licensing. And Ian was speaking to Ed Bellamy, who's a policy specialist at the CAA. So that's exploring the GA licensing and training simplification project, which will come into effect from the 1st of October. So do head over and watch that, because there's lots of good information there about what's coming down the pipeline. And it was uploaded to the Fly YouTube channel just a couple of hours ago, so it's fresh there for you to watch.
Go take a look. Leave some likes and comments and subscribe to that one if you haven't already. That Ed Bellamy there, he kind of looks almost young enough to apply for the Tiger Moth scholarship thing, doesn't he? I mean, he can fly already, I should say. Right, okay, time for some club news, Johnny.
Yeah, so Fly Club members, if you're not a member, you can join at fly.co.uk/membership. And the next webinar that we've got coming up, which will be on the 13th of May at 7 p.m, is with Bob Bevan, who's COO of VisiCover. So Bob's going to be talking all about aircraft insurance, which will be an interesting topic, because it's kind of that time of year where a lot of people are reinsuring. So it's good to get some information about that. And we've also got new landing fees for this month. So we've got Bagby, Skye, Haverfordwest and Perth. So firstly, thank you to all those airfields. And secondly, get out and visit them.
And thirdly, I'm sorry I didn't upload a map of that. I don't know why, but there you go. But just in case you want to see the ones that we had last month in April, they're there.
Yeah, you missed those. Too slow, Soz.
Where are they? Skye, that's up north.
Skye, Bagby, Haverfordwest and Perth.
So it's either north or west, basically. Head north or west, people. That's what I say.
There is one other little airfield piece we should mention, because early on, right at the beginning of the live stream, David Johnston popped this in the comments. Basically, you can read it. Greetings from Shobden. We countered a rumour the airfield was imploding, but life continues. The new team are bedding in well. Tower training is in progress, and it's the second bit of it. I'm told we should be back to normal very soon. That's good news from Shobden.
Good.
Yeah, good news. Yeah, sure. I look forward to paying a visit and finding out for myself. I did actually know someone who popped in there. Maybe it was earlier this week, maybe it was last week. I can't remember. Phoned me up and said, "No, actually, it was brilliant. Loved it." So who knows? So there you go. Right. Have we done the Fly Club webinars bit?
We've done that. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll just Sorry.
Do you want to do it again, just for you?
Do it again, just for me. But I don't think we will. Right. In that case, I think we're going to bring Mike Pearson on stage. We all know that it takes a little while to swap around these little pictures here and see if bloody software, stop it, software. There you go. We're going to go with this one this week. And Dave, I'm going to promote you to the top. There you go. Mike, thank you very much. Welcome to the show. I'm going to pass you over to Dave, who's going to take it on from here.
Welcome to Mike Pearson, manager of Popham Airfield. Mike's here to talk about the Microlight Trade Fair at the weekend. But first, since we've got him here, we have to ask what's happening with Popham Airfield. Is it going to be turned into Coxford Garden Village?
Okay, so generally I'm guarded about this conversation because I'm employed by the landowners who want to build the houses. But I can tell you the facts, which is always helpful in these situations. Last January, the council had Popham Airfield on their list of potential on a Regulation 18 proposal to build houses, 3,000 houses, as you say. The consultation went quite well to begin with. There was a tremendous support for the airfield. A group called Popham Airfield Matters was formed. It's got 2,000 members now. About 65% of the members are actually the community, not flying public, which shows a little bit about how the community is responding. As a matter of fact, we haven't had a single noise complaint in the last 18 months as a result of this. So that's a byproduct. People want the aeroplanes, they don't want the houses. Of course, you've now got a new government who want to build more houses. So although Popham had been removed from the original Regulation 18 plan, when the new government came in, the whole thing had to be redrawn. And the council went out to find new properties where they could build houses. And Popham may well be back in that list again. But it will go to consultation in the summer, and we'll have the same opportunity to stake our claim in terms of the aviation activity. So it's still on the owners definitely do want to build houses there, and you know, their ambition is still being pursued by their sponsor. I'd like to say I don't think it will happen because technically it's quite a difficult project. Where Popham is, we have the Test Valley, the Golden River, just down the road. Everything off the airfield flows into that river. There's very little infrastructure, so it's a very expensive project to run. But I'm not a planner. I'm not a builder. It just looks a very difficult project. So I'm still hopeful. It has impacted the airfield though, because the owners have asked us to curtail community activities. So we're only doing aviation events right now. But so far, that's not had any real impacts on our business as such. We're still a profitable business, and the business is still growing. So despite this background, we're not really being affected badly.
Right. Well, we all hope Popham Airfield continues, because it is such a fabulous airfield. As you said, the community, the flying community there is brilliant, and it's always fun to go to Popham.
Yeah, David, I mean, in central southern England, we're in Class G airspace. We've got 6,500 feet headroom. It's an easy place to get in and out of. We've got 600 members, 150 aircraft based at the airfield, 2 flying schools, cafe open 7 days a week. We've got leaded and unleaded fuel, and you know, we're really active. In fact, I can tell you our movements this year are 26% up on last year. Just to give you some idea, back in 2000, we had 9,800 movements at Popham. Last year, we had 18,035. Wow. And growing. It grows every year. But we're 26% up already on last year. So whatever is happening at Popham, it's a positive story. So let's just hope it doesn't get curtailed with housing.
Yeah.
Wait and see.
Yep. Well, another positive story is the Microlight Trade Fair. And the first thing I have to say is the fair is always busy with aircraft of all types, ranging from microlights to gyrocopters to vintage aircraft, faster, heavier, modern aeroplanes. Yes, it all happens with a minimum of fuss. How on earth do you do it?
Well, I'll tell you what happens here. When you have an event, it's quite easy to sort of make special arrangements. Some of the LA rallies in the past have had 8 pages of notes, briefing pilots to get into the event. At Popham, we've always adopted the same principle here. If you join overhead, descend on the dead side, join the circuit pattern. And if you can't land, you go around. That's the briefing, and that's what you normally do when you come to Popham. And by doing that, some people have to go around 2 or 3 times. I'll be honest, but basically that works easily. And because there's no special procedure, you know that if you can't land, you've got to go around, and that works. I admit that some days, especially on Saturday mornings, when you have maybe 7 aircraft on finals all at once, it makes you wonder whether it'll get in. But we do manage it. We have 3 people on the air-ground service for the whole weekend. So 1 person's on the radio, 1 person's scribing, and a 3rd person's having a rest, because it is intense. In the past, we've had up to 900 movements on a weekend, which is quite a lot for an air-ground service. And Popham's really a big farm strip, so you know, but it's worked well, and let's hope it's going to be okay this weekend.
Yeah. So with the wind coming from the north this weekend, is that going to alter the way it works?
No, in fact, 03 is quite a preferred runway for this event because it helps us park the aircraft more easily. We're likely to be on 03, I think, for the weekend. So no problems there.
Okay. So for someone flying in for the first time, is there any particular advice you'd give them?
Well, there are some briefing notes on our website which you need to go to, and basically what you'll find there is you'll be given minimal information. We don't like to clog up the radio frequency with unnecessary calls. So you'll be given the runway information, and it'll be broadcast regularly throughout the day. And we keep the radio calls to the minimum, but the briefing notes are very explicit. It's a single page, worth reading if you're coming.
Yeah. Is it possible to listen to the air ground at all at Popham? I mean, presumably if you've got a receiver, you can do it.
Yes,
but,
yes,
yeah.
Of course. 129.805.
Yeah. Is it anything like, at the start of the show, we have this ATC from Oshkosh. Is it anything like that at all?
It is sometimes, yes. But bearing in mind we're air ground, we're not giving instructions to anybody. We're only giving them information, and but it's not quite as serious as Oshkosh. But yeah, it's interesting to listen. You're welcome.
Yeah. So the airspace near Popham, although you've got plenty of Class G actually over the airfield, but around about there's the Class D from Solent, and there's also the Mats over Odium. They can catch people out. What would you say to those, to people coming in?
Well, first of all, the Odium Mats is not very active at weekends anyway, so that shouldn't be an issue. Right. But the airspace changes around Farnborough did close off a lot of avenues of access to our airfield, and as a result, Popham's overhead is quite busy some days. People trying to skirt around the different local airspaces. But if you look at it closely, you'll see that the airspace is the Class D stuff is at altitude. If you're flying low enough, then you've got quite a bit of space to manoeuvre, and it's not so difficult. But it does look, I must say, the half-mil map. I'd like to say it's not fit for purpose around Farnborough because the detail is so small, you can't read it. If you're flying on SkyDemon, you can actually, at the right altitude, you can find quite a bit of airspace you can fly through without any trouble at all.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, what's new at the fair this year?
What's new at the fair? Right. Okay. So, can I just say thank you to our sponsors, because CFS Aero have sponsored us for many years now, and has the BMAA, because they have their AGM on the Saturday. And that helps us enormously. So thank you to those guys for supporting us as they do. I should say it's 10 quid to get in. If you fly in, by the way, and you've got passengers, you pay one landing fee and your passengers will get a free wristband. So there's nothing else to pay because we'd like you to come. All right? Bargain. So what's new? We've it's not uncommon for people to camp under the wings at Popham, but we've discouraged public camping for some time, but we've reintroduced public camping this year. So if you can't fly in, you can drive in with your motorhome or caravan or tent and pitch up. You can book it online, but that's new. We've got this for the first time, a show guide. Cool. It's this will tell you where everything is, and it's also given us a chance to promote the people exhibiting. There's a bit of a diagram in the front so you can get some idea where everything is. Well, it's gone down very well with all our traders. In the speakers tent, we've got Airborne Aviation. They're going to be talking about 1 year of flying a Velis. We've had electric aircraft at Popham for one whole year now, and we can talk about the ups and downs of how electric airplanes work. So that'll be a good speakers point to go and see. We've Airability are exhibiting for the first time, which is nice. I think maybe they're trying to sell a plane as well, but that might be another reason. But nevertheless, it's the first time they've come. We're going to have a shark a dynamic, and a JA400. They're all 600 kilogram microlights, and in fact the JA400 Sky Leader is going to be based at Popham anyway. It's just arriving this week. So some really nice aeroplanes there to look at. We've also got for the first time, an aircraft for sale park. So if you're interested in a second-hand aeroplane, that'll be at the end of the line. The other thing we've done, we try to include careers as part of the theme here. We've done a lot of work with local students to get them into the show, because we all know what the shortages are in skills in aviation, and so we thought we'd try and do something. We've been supported by Basingstoke College of Technology. Their idea is to have their transferable skills to get into aviation. We've got the CEA doing something on skills, Stansted College, and we've also got Metal Seagulls. Now, I'm sure you know Jonathan and
Patricia.
And Patricia, well known. They're very, very interested in training, and so they've helped us with a competition. And there's going to be a practical competition for people to do, and there will be a prize each day, Saturday and Sunday. It means using your hands to tighten things up with screws and bend metal and that sort of stuff. So it's just to bring a bit more interest to the actual the careers part of it. These days, people don't like to get their hands dirty, do they? So this is an attempt to introduce that. So quite a lot of things happening, and the weather looks good. So
yeah,
it's looking good all round.
Yeah. So what do you think is going to be the highlight of the show for you? And don't say Sunday night, please.
That's difficult to answer. The Microlight Trade Show has been going a long time now. It has changed quite a bit over the years. At one time, there were just a few tents on the apron, and if it rained, everybody went home. We tried to make it a sort of a weatherproof event with the marquees and things. So I suppose the careers thing is the thing we've focused on. I don't know whether it's going to work or not, but that's the bit I'd like to see work, because that's where we need some effort right now.
Yeah. Do you see the show developing a bit more like that way, to be more of a general show, or is it going to stick to its Microlight roots?
Well, I think it's probably the only Microlight show in the UK, really, to speak of. So I think it's really important we keep that theme going. I think deviating from that, being more general, wouldn't benefit us in any way. I mean, Popham itself is really a grassroots airfield. It's definitely it's where you start in aviation. We've got a very big gyrocopter presence at Popham now. There are 2 gyrocopter schools, and we've got about 25 gyros at the airfield. So they're quite interesting products. I think and also noisy. I have to say that, I suppose. But the whole thing about the grassroots flying is it's on the edge of what you can afford, and I think that's really important, because people want to fly, but they need to enter the marketplace at the right level, and this is the best place to get in. Over the last few years, I think microwriting has really been it's one of the few parts that's been growing. I often talk about Popham, and I know we're a success story as an airfield, and in GA terms, that's it's almost rude to say that, because but my approach to Popham has always been it's a business. So if you come into my office, I have some blinds. I never look through the blinds. I know there's aeroplanes outside, but actually we're a business, and running as a business, it makes the difference, I think, in the way you can run an airfield. There are rather too many vanity airfields around the country, which probably have 1 or 2 aircraft on them, and they're not really a business. So it's difficult to justify their existence.
Yeah.
Talking of which, Mike, remind me, if you would, because I can't remember, how much is it for if people want to join the Spitfire Club at Popham? How much is that? Is that 160 quid a year, or is that more than that?
It's 170 now, and if you join the Spitfire Flying Club, and most people join it because they're based at Popham, but you can join it as in fact, we have some people on small farm strips near to Popham, and by being a member, they can land free, because there's free landings for a whole year if you pay the membership. If you're a regular visitor to Popham, it's definitely worth being a member. So we produce a newsletter twice a year, which covers all the activities on the site, and you get free entry to any events that we organise. So it's a worthy membership.
Yeah, and it's been on my list of things to do. So see if I can, maybe if everyone's not too busy, I'll do that on Saturday.
Bring your form.
Bring me a form, yeah. That's what I need.
Yeah.
Cool. And I'd just like to, sorry, Dave, to interrupt you. I'd just like to say at this point a big thanks to Mike for keeping like you were saying, the joining instructions and stuff, one single page of A4. It's just made it so simple. And I was at Dunkerswell last weekend, and they had parachuting going on and helicopter rides going on and GA going on, and they operate that on air ground as well there. And there are airfields like Dunkerswell and Popham just show how easy it can be to have events and just general busy stuff like that. You don't need 36 pages of information just to land an airplane.
So can I mention something else? Cap 403 was rewritten after the Shoreham accident. And when that happened, it went from 94 pages to 246 pages. And as a result of that, there's not many air shows going on these days because to be compliant is too difficult. But what in the original cap, there were two appendixes. One of them was for air racing, and at the time I was the chairman of the 3Rs Records Racing and Rally Association, and the appendix gave the 3Rs the opportunity to organise air races in the UK. After the Shoreham crash, the 246-page document didn't have the appendix in. So my question was, well, how do we carry on racing? As it happens, somebody did write to me and say, well, the racing element would compromise the new publication. So, but they said, we will write you a new cap. That was in 2015 to cover air racing. So about a month ago, or maybe a little bit more, I had an email from the CAA, and cap 1988 is probably going to become a consultation during the summertime. And this is the rewrite of all those other things that are not in Cap 403. Now, the worrying part about this is that it is for fly-ins, charity events, rallies, competitions, everything. It's going to be all-encompassing. And I'm very concerned about this because there's the suggestion that the public is separated from aeroplanes. I mean, a lot of fly-ins, it's a key element of a fly-in that the public can get close to the aviation and talk to the pilots and that sort of thing. And I'm very worried about this. I think at the moment, you can't look up Cap 1988, and there's a small group of people talking about it at the moment. So we're all sort of trying to get the pre-meetings out of the way. But there will be a document at some point that everyone can see. And at that point, I think we need to make sure everyone's in the consultation.
Yeah.
I think at that point we need to get you back. We can talk about it, and we can encourage people to read the consultation and take part in it. Really.
Don't want to hog the audience here, but you also mentioned fuel. I'm the facilitator for the General Aviation Alliance, and I have organised a meeting with Green Energy, a fuel summit in London on the 4th of June. And the objective of this is to try to work out what we're going to do with avgas and UR91 and anything else that we need for piston engines. The response to this has been really poor. And I really worry about that because, the TEL ban, which we're all facing recently, has been extended for 7 years. If we don't do anything between now and then, we'll be no further forwards. And what we really need is a document or a roadmap so we can take it to government and say, look, this is what we're going to do. And that will also give the manufacturers and the blenders the opportunity to gear up and set themselves up. I mean, those points about Ostend were quite interesting. I hadn't heard that, and that's quite frightening, really.
It is.
Yeah. So, I mean, we sell 50% UR91, 50% 100LL at Popham. And so, and it's an important part of our revenue. So, unleaded is being sold and used, but the availability is awful.
It's not great.
No, it's not brilliant. So, sorry to have hugged your
That's okay. We're gonna have to move on now, but I think we need to maybe we get you back after your June meeting on fuels, and we can talk about that. And when Cap 1988 comes out, 1988 comes out,
okay,
we can get you back and talk about that as well. So, on that basis, I'm going to say thank you very much. I'm just looking for my little thing that I can rearrange the screen. Thank you very much, Mike. I'll see you on Saturday. Have a great day.
See you Saturday.
I got that bit right.
Yes, so this week, inspired by the Volleynaut air bike, we did have a discussion about how we were going to phrase this, and we went for the very tactful theme for this week's fantasy hangar of mad ways to fly.
We did.
We did.
Mm.
Are you going to do the little video thing? Yeah.
Oh, no, because I was waiting for, it must be time for, they're the key words, they're the key trigger.
It must be time for.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're straight into it, I think.
Mm.
Yes.
Who's
Who's
first?
first?
In that case, I won't wait for you to say, okay, who's first then? Because who's first is Johnny Salmon, who
It's me. So, there was a guy called Jess Dixon from Andalusia in Alabama, who he was born in 1886, died in 1963, and in the 30s and 40s, I'm reading this off some information, he basically wanted something that could be a car, a bike, an autogyro, and a motorcycle. So he came up with the Flying Ginny.
Oh,
Lovely hat.
that looks pretty funky.
Yeah. So he built this before having any flight training at all. For a 40 horsepower air-cooled engine. Apparently, it could reach 100 miles an hour, and it was supposedly test flown in 1940 and 1941. There's basically no documentation. There's one photo, which is that one, which shows it apparently in flight. And yeah, I just thought it's the best of everything. Really, it's a bonkers. It's lawnmower meets wheelchair meets helicopter.
I mean, he might not have had any flight training, but he must have had some serious engineering training. Because if you look at that, there's contra-rotating rotors there, and the sort of swash plates and everything else that you need to make that kind of stuff work. That's some pretty funky. That's engineering to make your head hurt type stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, if you sit up straight, definitely it would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. And do you reckon it was? You seem sceptical as to whether it actually flew or not.
Supposedly, that is the only known photo of it supposedly flying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it looks like it's flying to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it looks sufficiently wacky and interesting enough and ahead of its time that you think other people might have snapped it. I guess not everyone was walking around with iPhones back in the 40s, but you know. But anyway, something a little bit more modern that has flown, but is equally mad, and possibly the maddest thing here, but you get to decide that, is from Dave.
Well, it's do you remember Yves Rossi, Jetman? He invented this incredible product, which is a carbon fiber wing strapped to his back with 4 jet engines under the wing. This isn't Yves Rossi. This is his Dubai counterpart. But this, and same here again. But I think this is brilliant. This is, look at it, 4 engines. That wonderful science. What are my words? That wonderful futuristic wing. And originally, when Yves Rossi first launched it, he could only be dropped either out of an aeroplane or out from a helicopter. But now they've developed the technology to the point where they can take off and hover. Yes, yeah. It
be like a sprinter, is it like, or is it STOL?
Well, you can take off vertically. It hovers almost vertically.
Oh wow!
And the climb rate is something incredible. So it's I've got a figure somewhere, 15 meters per second, whatever that is. It sounds quite a lot, but so yes. So now he can fly vertically, hover. The endurance isn't very long. It's something like 13 minutes. But the maximum speed is nearly 200 knots.
It's probably got a decent glide ratio that when you run out of power, haven't you? And you have got your own BRS, even though it's manually operated, I guess.
Yeah. I'm not sure they can actually land under, because the undercarriage is their legs. So I think they actually pop and shoot to land.
That was their BRS I was talking about. It's just a manually activated one. Yep. They got a parachute, is what I was trying to say.
Yep.
But, yeah. Okay, then, Annabelle.
Okay, this week I have chosen the Hiller VZ1 Pawnee, a real-life magic carpet. Fly it and you defy gravity, common sense, and numerous health and safety regulations. Designed for the US Army in the 1950s, the Pawnee is basically an airborne Segway. To fly it, you stand on top of 2 giant contra-rotating ducted fans, you steer by leaning, and then you hope for the best. But unlike many seemingly mad contraptions, this was flown repeatedly and reliably-ish. It was compact, clever, and ambitious. Inherently stable in a low hover, it was perfect in theory for moving over rough terrain or landing zones too tight for helicopters. It didn't fly very high and it didn't fly very far, but it did fly and it looks like a whole lot of fun. So you get to stand on a flying disc and float around like a cartoon superhero or supervillain, and who wouldn't want that in their fantasy hangar?
Me, because it kind of looks like he's pointing a gun, and if someone points a gun, it's almost certain that someone else is going to be pointing a gun back at you. that thing is looking like it's pretty stable, you know, it doesn't move very fast, and you can tell which way he's going because he's leaning. You can't go, I'm gonna hit the brakes and fly right by without actually moving, can you? In it, and so I worry about.
Well, there's another picture. You have to put up the second picture because a lot of people disagreed and thought it looked so much like fun that they built a toy version, and the toy version also flies.
See, that would be worth buying and having a bit of fun in the field behind your house or something, because no one's likely to be killing you. But, but there you go. There you go. Well, anyway, I went for something called a. Wait to see what he did with the name. Listen to this carefully. A Fulton Airfibian. Yep. And I've got a picture of it right here somewhere. There you go. The Fulton Airfibian, an aluminium car with a fuselage and a wing and a tailplane and everything behind it. 4 aircraft-sized tires and a car that you could drive along. It was powered by 165 horsepower, 6-cylinder engine. First flew in 1946. There's one of these. There were 6 of them built, I think. Was it 4? I can't remember. 4 or 6 of them built. And there was one of them in the entrance to the Smithsonian, November 74104. Believe it or not, in 1950, it was actually certified by what was at the time the CA that became the FAA. So it was certified. Unfortunately, Mr. Fulton was a better designer and builder than he was a businessman, ran out of money, sold the project to someone else because he needed somewhere to live, I guess. And they decided not to develop it any further. But it actually got to the point of building multiple versions and getting it certified and flying. And by all reports, it was actually quite nice. Flew quite nicely. So it's probably I probably missed the brief because that's probably not that mad, is it? I think I have to say, of all of the suggestions that have been put here, I'm going to say I'm going to get in my one rather than any of yours.
So when it drove on the road, was it the propeller did the work, did it? So you drove around the road with a propeller, a live propeller.
Well, maybe. It's America. It's America, it doesn't matter. You drive up to trucks in America, and they literally, we're talking like big trucking trucks, not F-150 type things. And it's the nut covers, they have these spikes that stick out this far. You're like, what are you thinking? What? They're mad for that kind of. So like a prop going around at 2,000 RPM, they probably don't mind.
Yeah.
They're just like, I mean, it would be a bit. You wouldn't really want to be sitting at a pedestrian crossing when there's a whole load of kids walking across, would you? That would be. I think I'd just shut down. You have your hand on the mixture lever all the time. But anyway, so let's have a look at the comments. Anyone got any? Unfortunately, Ed's not won this week. Oh, look at that.
Darren says Ed wins.
What do you like? Yeah, Nick Allen.
Everyone wins.
I agree. Airfibian. Very good, Cat Kane. Very good, Cat Kane. Oh, lots of lipstick on the toy. I don't know what toy you're looking at, Crispin, but okay. So I think Mark Aubrey says, by the way, for Dave, 50 meters a second. It was 15, I think. So
no, 50.
50 metres a second.
50 metres a second, yeah.
10,000 feet a minute. Bloody hell.
That's brilliant. That's excellent.
Yeah, it is excellent, but it's going to get you.
It's going to pop your ears a bit.
It's going to pop your ears, exactly. Right. Okay. Well, we're kind of a little bit out of time. We've skipped a whole feature, but let's pass on to Dave and tell us what's going on this weekend, Dave, as if we didn't know.
Well, obviously, there's the Microlight Trade Fair at Popham on Saturday and Sunday. Actually, tomorrow, Friday and Saturday, there's the annual charity flying at Cardiff, where for a landing fee of £20, you can stay for 24 hours, should you want. Also across the weekend, 3rd and 4th of May, Saturday and Sunday, is the International Oyster Club flying at Brayton. Sunday, May the 4th, there's the Breakfast Patrol flying at Sturgate. This is the one where you try and sneak in and you get a free breakfast if you manage it. And on Monday, Bank Holiday Monday, 5th of May, there's Aviators and Artisans at Shobden.
Okay, well.
That's a nice event.
Jolly good, yeah. And as Catkin points out, at the moment, there's a big... Hey, Catkin, how big is big? Because I saw some pictures at the 2K and I counted 3 chipmunks, I think, or maybe there's 4. Just out of interest. I mean, that is a big number of chipmunks going to Cannes. But how big is big? Well, there a load out of the picture is what I'm trying to get there. So let us know if there were. Catkin also sent a thing through on Facebook earlier. The control tower at Northfield seems to be sprouting up very quickly, and someone's spending a lot of money making that happen. So that's good.
It's amazing.
It is amazing, isn't it? It is. And it was Annabelle's hover toy. Okay, got it. Right, fair enough. I think we'll move on from that. Jolly good. Right, everyone. I think that's it. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much, team. If you liked it, give us a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Look forward to seeing you on Saturday. If you're at Popham, come along and say hello. I'll be there with Dave and Ed and Henry, our videographer. We're hoping to get a little video out by, well, who knows, on that day sometime in the evening. Hopefully the best of Popham 2025. So keep your eyes peeled for that. If you haven't seen the video on the pilot licensing change, go watch that at some stage. If you haven't got time to watch it now, watch it later. Otherwise, thank you very much, everyone, and we'll see you next week on Wednesday. Have a good one. Cheers.
Bye.
Hello, this video is sponsored by us, the Fly Club, and if you're not a member already, we'd love for you to join.
Members get access to all of our content, our free landing fees every month, exclusive webinars and much, much more.
It costs just £5 per month to become a member, so head on over to flyer.co.uk/membership or click the link in the description below.
It's a proper good deal.
It's a bargain.